Martell Holt has once again shaken up social media with a bold and unapologetic clapback directed straight at Melody Shari. Viewers, this is where the drama heats up, and trust me, you are not going to want to miss a single detail, because by the end of this video, you'll see just how explosive this feud has become. Martell didn't hold back, telling Melody directly to stop playing the victim, and fans can't stop talking about it. So stay tuned, watch until the very end, because the revelations in this breakdown will change the way you see not only Martell and Melody, but the entire Love and Marriage Huntsville cast. The drama between Martell Holt and Melody Shari has been building quietly behind the scenes for weeks before finally spilling out into public view. At first, it was subtle, cryptic posts, shady comments, and small jabs that fans noticed in passing. But now, all of that tension has boiled over, leaving both Martell and Melody in the middle of a storm that the rest of the cast can't seem to ignore. Marceau Scott, Letitia Scott, Kimmy Scott, Maurice Scott, and even Stormy Steele have all felt the ripple effects of this feud, because when Martell and Melody clash, it never stays just between them. Now, let's really break down how this all started, because you know there's always more to the story than what we first see online. Insiders say Martell grew more and more frustrated with what he viewed as Melody constantly positioning herself as the victim. To Martell, it felt like she was telling half the story, making herself look like the one who was always wronged while dismissing his perspective completely. That kind of narrative didn't sit right with him, and it was only a matter of time before he exploded with his clapback. And when he finally did, he left no room for confusion. He told Melody straight up to stop playing the victim. Fans instantly jumped online, and social media became a battlefield. Some people were cheering Martell on, saying it was about time. He stood up for himself and stopped letting Melody control the narrative. Others, however, rushed to defend Melody, pointing out that Martell's track record hasn't exactly been spotless. After all, we've all seen the cheating scandals, the heartbreak, and the public breakdown of their marriage. So, when Martell calls Melody manipulative, a lot of fans feel like he should be the last one pointing fingers. And this division among the fans has made the drama even more explosive. Watch until the end, because the fan reactions alone tell. A story that's bigger than Martell and Melody themselves. Now here's where it gets even more interesting. Martell's clapback didn't just come out of nowhere. There are whispers that behind the scenes, Melody and Martell have had multiple confrontations that fans never saw. Private conversations, arguments that didn't make it to social media, and unresolved issues that were quietly simmering until, finally, Martell snapped. Some sources even suggest Melody may have been using certain moments to gain sympathy from fans, while Martell felt trapped in a narrative that painted him as the villain every single time. And you know Martell, when he feels cornered, he doesn't stay quiet for long. But what really sent shockwaves through the fan base was the way Martell delivered his message. This wasn't a cryptic post or a sly comment. No, this was direct, unfiltered, and impossible to misinterpret. Fans grabbed screenshots, clips started circulating, and before you knew it, the phrase "Martell claps back" was trending. Everyone had an opinion, and the debates got heated. Was Martell simply speaking his truth, or was he deflecting from his own wrongdoings? That's the question that split the fanbase right down the middle. Meanwhile, Melody's response, or in some cases, her lack of one, only added fuel to the fire. Some fans say she responded defensively, continuing to emphasize that she had been misunderstood or unfairly judged. Others believe she chose silence, letting her absence from the conversation speak for itself. And when it comes to Melody, silence can be just as powerful as words because it leaves fans speculating. Was she reflecting on what Martell said, or was she gearing up for her own clapback? This uncertainty kept the conversation alive across Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. And speaking of the rest of the cast, don't think for a second that Marceau and Letitia Scott, or even Kimmy and Maurice, weren't watching this drama unfold. We know from past seasons that Martell and Marceau have had their fair share of heated moments, so Marceau keeping an eye on Martell's behavior is nothing new. And Letitia has often shown support for Melody in the past, so her reaction to Martell's clapback is something fans are watching closely. Even Stormy Steele, who has tried to navigate friendships with both Martell and Melody, might find herself caught in the middle as this feud intensifies. This isn't just Martell and Melody's problem anymore. It's a ripple effect that could shake up the entire dynamic of the show. But here's the shocking twist that most fans don't realize. Martell's frustration wasn't only about Melody's recent actions. Insiders suggest this was years in the making. Think back to all the moments of miscommunication, the betrayals, the public arguments, and the way both of them used social media to air out their grievances. Martell finally hit his breaking point, and instead of holding back, he decided to go public. And when he said, "Stop playing the victim," it wasn't just about one incident. It was about every moment where he felt Melody had framed herself as the innocent party while painting him as the villain. The fan reactions have been wild, and that's putting it lightly. On one side, you have fans praising Martell for finally speaking up. They argue that Melody has leaned on the victim card for far too long, and Martell's honesty was necessary to balance the narrative. On the other side, Melody's supporters feel this was nothing more than Martell deflecting responsibility, as he has often done in the past. They argue that Melody endured years of betrayal and emotional turmoil, so if she positions herself as the victim, it's because she truly was. This debate has turned social media into a war zone, with hashtags, memes, and reaction videos spreading like wildfire. Stay with me until the end, because the online reactions alone could fill an entire season of drama. Now let's dive deeper into Melody's side, because this story is not one-dimensional. Sources close to her claim that she feels misunderstood, misrepresented, and unfairly judged. Melody has been through a lot, not just with Martell, but also with balancing her career, raising her kids, and dealing with the constant scrutiny of the public eye. To her, sharing her story online might not have been about manipulation, but about seeking support and validation during a difficult time. That's something a lot of people can relate to. But here's the problem. What feels like seeking support to one person might feel like manipulation to another. And that's exactly where Martell and Melody continue to clash. Martell, on the other hand, feels like his perspective is always dismissed. To him, Melody paints herself as the one who suffered, while ignoring the ways he's been hurt